I've been a gamer for as long as I can remember. I've always been drawn to the digital worlds that exist within video games, starting all the way back with Super Mario Bros. On the Super Nintendo. I was fascinated by the fact that I was in control of the action. My love for video games continued to grow throughout the years, from countless hours playing GoldenEye on the N64 with my friends, to playing through the Halo campaign for the first time with my brother. Halo was by far the most innovative game I'd ever played at the time, so it should have come as no surprise to me that the company that developed such a beloved title would be responsible for what I consider to be the most influential game I have ever played. The first time that I saw gameplay footage for Bungie's next undertaking following Halo Reach, I was absolutely blown away. The textures and lighting were unlike anything I'd ever seen in a game before. The promise of a shared world shooter was something I didn't even fully understand. What I did know was that this game would be unlike anything that I had ever laid hands on before. Destiny was waiting. To fully understand my attachment to this game, I need to address what was happening in my life at the time that it released. I was struggling to cope with the fact that my mother had cancer and was slowly and painfully losing that battle. I had never seen my mother get sick, so when the doctors told us that they had found cancer and it was very advanced, I was devastated. I didn't know how to address the emotional turmoil that was brought about by this terrible news, so I tried to find ways to escape the pain that was my new reality. Destiny was the perfect distraction, and it came at a time when I needed it most. After a painful day at the hospital, I could always find solace within the Destiny universe. In this world, death was something that humanity had conquered long ago. Powerful beings known as Guardians, the sworn protectors of Earth, and the godlike figure known as the Traveler, rose up to fight against the forces of darkness and could even be resurrected upon death. When I felt totally powerless to help my mother, I was able to escape to another world where I was supremely powerful, even over death. Now that we've discussed the biggest reason this game has had an impact on me, I'd like to cover a few reasons that have made it a game that I continue to come back to years later. One of the main reasons I've continued to invest in the Destiny franchise throughout its turbulent history is due in part to the story. Bungie has done a fantastic job evolving the world of Destiny with each new expansion that has come out. They've set up a storyline that spans across years' worth of gameplay and continues to develop that story as time goes on. Another reason I've come to love this game is due to the community of players that stays actively involved with the game. No matter what type of activity you set out to do, you can find players who will help you complete even the most difficult of the game's challenges. The teamwork that I've witnessed from some of the other players in this game is unlike anything I've ever experienced before. Each fight has its own mechanics to learn and adapt to, but dedicated Guardians have always managed to overcome these challenges. The next thing that keeps me coming back to the Destiny universe are the raids. Raids in Destiny are extremely difficult endgame content that requires 6 Guardians to work together to slay the toughest foes the game has to offer. These encounters can take anywhere from 2 hours to 10 hours depending on the skill of those you are playing with, especially when you're not all on the same page. It is this frustrating but ultimately rewarding experience that has made me fall in love with the game. The anger and frustration all melts away as soon as the mission is complete and is replaced by sheer joy and accomplishment. The first time I entered the Vault of Glass, the first raid introduced in Destiny's long history, I was absolutely blown away. I had no idea what to expect, but even still, what I found inside was beyond my wildest expectations of a game. My team and I spent 14 hours working our way through every encounter in the raid, fine-tuning our strategy, and working together to accomplish what seemed to be an impossible task. By the time the dust settled, and Atheon, the raid's final boss, was slain, I knew that this is the game I had been waiting for. Throughout the years, many more raids have been introduced, and many forces of the darkness have been eradicated by our Guardians. There was Crota, Eater of Light and Son of Oryx; Skolas, the fallen Kel and leader of the House of Wolves; Oryx, the Taken King, and many others whose names no longer bear consequence. And yet the evolution of Destiny continues with new and stronger foes to take the place of the enemies that came before them. I, for one, can't wait to see what the future of this franchise holds.